Hello and welcome. It is an honor to have you here. And I want to start by leaning forward a little bit because this is a sharing of love. And when we lean forward, it is our expression that we are giving. And I am giving my authentic love to you. And I know that I'm connected to all beings out there who are sharing the same energy. It is all a frequency, and our generator is our heart. So I invite you all to just take a deep breath. Just before we are consuming any information, connecting in any frequency to one another, I just want you to feel safe in your space and understand that in love, everything is shared and it's open. There are no limits and nothing can harm you. When you stay in alignment to your true self, nothing outside of your body can harm you. Now, in my videos in the past, if you've been here or if this is your first time watching this, we are connecting into something that we are going through, a frequency that we're sharing together that needs to happen right here and right now. Because everything that comes from wisdom is centered in the now moment. I mean, we can be fools and choose to be in the past. It is a choice. But right now, this frequency that has the freedom of choice to even change if it wants to. So what resonates right now throughout your day might not resonate if you look at this video again. Because we're always free to change our frequency. And we are always and constantly going from moment to moment if we choose to be wise and to be present. The ultimate love is when we are present. It is the beauty of the right now moment. I often advocate for us to meditate. Every time I do a tarot card reading, or we're just sitting here and I let it become a channel, I become a channel in this moment. There's just something flowing between us that needs to go and come, just like the waves of the ocean, just going through the ebbs and the flows without controlling the circumstances. Because again, when we control, we find ourselves in the past and we are stuck in the mind. And the mind is always in a loop that constantly feeds back of the last step. So it's constantly feeding the same stories. And the only way to be free from that is to be in the present moment. And that's not easy, as simple as it is said. There is an understanding because I can never speak to, and since I chose this channel to be authentic, I don't do anything from the mind. And believe me, the mind has judged so many things from you're having too much differences in your contents. You need to narrow it down to make it more simple. But I am operating from the soul. And I was guided to make these videos. And therefore, in the expression of everyone that I'm connecting with, you are on the same frequency wavelength of having so much inside of you. So when we awaken to our inner wisdom, to our home, to something that has always been here, that is not something to be found because it's already here. That is nothing to be found because it's empty in itself. To even hear these words and not understand them fully is okay too. It's a process that the mind cannot process. Since words are only to enchant and imbue the mind and help it to stay focused, what really is happening here is a transmission of love. And that you're willing to look at this channel and not go with the mind of wanting the perfect words, wanting the perfect information, want everything to be perfect in a certain way, that you can allow yourself to just say, I was led to the word love, and that was enough for me. And to just feel that frequency, what is being shared behind the screen, behind the words, behind this human being, this human suit in front of you that might be appealing to look at. Beyond all of this, in the depth, in something that brings us together, in the togetherness of oneness. All of these videos, no matter what layer of consciousness it is representing itself, whether it is tarot card reading, or a channeling, or a simple talk, or like this, a combination of a channeling, but also an authentic self-expression right now. All of it holds valuable information for everyone in every step of the journey, which you are connecting with. Can you see the value in all of it? I've said this also before in my videos, that if you're watching something that raises your vibration, your frequency, brings you calmness, brings you some sort of reassurance that there is a higher power, something is taking care of us, all is well. Like that video, share that video. That video might not resonate with the frequency you will be on just the day after the day you watch that video. Do you understand how everything always just flows? It doesn't stagnate. It's when we are in the mind and we pick and we want it to sound perfectly, but what you're actually seeing is an actor. If I can channel anything, I can also act. That is what in my experience, have found out. And I made a short video about that. I actually felt the more that I was channeling, the easier it was for me to act. And it was not an acting of being unauthentic. It was an acting of channeling that energy and becoming that energy, which is a form of acting. But it still brings the message more smoothly forward. And when I understood that, actors to begin with has superpowers maybe that they weren't considering before, because they were having abilities to channel. And I found that fascinating and so magical, how everything can be so interconnected and intertwined, but yet have this free openness to explore. So as I was learning how to channel, I became a better actor. It was a skill that I've never noticed inside of me or had or play with that thought. And all of a sudden it came very easy to me. And I used it for many good things. I have 2 kids, so I can act out a scene and make it a little bit more fun in order for them to understand what is it that I'm trying to say. So we can be at the same frequency, at least have a little bit more balance to be closer to one another. You see, this is how life expression and expresses itself. Through us, with us. So if you're watching any channel and it resonates in the moment, give thanks to that and then move forward. In this way, your mind will never make you stagnate into something else. Because the mind always wants to pick apart and say that this is better, that is better. As soon as it starts in the negative and in the comparing, you know you're in the mind. Because when you stand in love, you don't judge anything that comes through. You just let it come through, just the way that it wants to express. And then you feel inside of you. You go beyond these 5 senses. Because all of that is keeping you in your limitation. Is keeping you into, I need to smell it to know if it's clean or dirty. To go beyond it. Some people can read an aura field. A light that is shining around us. Some people can see it. Some people can feel it. There are different types of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. All of these are just different avenues of exploring and expressing this expression of that frequency. Just as when I'm reading tarot cards, there's so many layers to that. And I'm sharing this because you also have these layers within you. But the mind wants to limit you. If you're doing too much, you will end up doing nothing. That's the normal saying. If you're doing too many things, nothing will get done. But perhaps you need to do all of these things. If you enjoy doing them all at the same time, then that is the expression that you're going through. Over time, something will fall away, something else will be more interested, and everything will eventually become what it needed to be. There is no wrong. But the mind wants you to focus on one thing so you can get it done, and that is logically correct to do. But you see, the spirit and the soul doesn't go through logic. Logic doesn't exist in those realms of exploration, of possibilities. If you explore yourself, and the more that you awaken, the more that you open, the more you connect with your ancestor, you find out that you have a lot of skills. You don't know if you're healing your ancestors. The mind wants to judge. Now there's a lot of spirits here right now. It's beautiful. I love when these moments happen like this, because there is a connection from different dimensions. Many beings are connected. And again, this is love. There's no manipulation. There is no holding back. There's no distortion. It is just completely free, and we just let it happen. Just let it happen right now. So why do I choose to do tarot cards when I'm channeling? I did tarot cards because my spirit and my soul guided me to heal a wound from my mother's side. And perhaps we can feel that is not our obligation, but we are all one. You're not meant to do what your ancestors did, but there's a reason why you're here. Because all of them did tiny steps to get that bloodline, to get that signature frequency to move forward in a certain direction. So all of those pieces were valid for you to be alive right now in this moment, to be able to do what you're doing, to not judge yourself, to love yourself for it. I do the tarot cards. I don't know when it's going to stop, how it's unfolding. I just let it naturally just happen. And I'm happy to support everyone, because the less actually people are subscribing, the more the energy can be potent and I can connect to the frequency more easier. So I'm really enjoying this, that I can give you the message so much more accurate than someone who has a tarot card channel that has a lot of viewers. And again, not that that is wrong or that they are not giving correct information, not at all. It's just the appreciation of the signature that I'm carrying here in love and that we are connecting with. Can you see the beauty of that? Of we just expanding one another, connecting to one another. This information of wisdom from within, from all of our, however we feel our past lives, but to not let that affect you. Some of us remember our past lives. I remember some of them. But every time I'm connecting with my spirit team, they always remind me that none of that is even important. Love is important. Because we can get stuck in our past lives. Just as we can get stuck in our family and ancestor. This is how your ancestors did. Your ancestor struggled, so you need to struggle too. Your ancestor has always been very disciplined. You need to be disciplined too. And it's this constantly thing that is habituating patterns to happen again. And the mind is all about pattern recognitions, repeating. The soul is free here and now. It's consciousness. And we might use different words. Just as we say, witches do spells. Those who believe in religion pray. Those who are scientists believe in quantum physics. It is all the same thing. Even atheists have the placebo effect. We have all different avenues pointing and accepting the same existence, but with different name. The same thing here is, whether I'm doing it with tarot cards or channeling or just speaking like this to help someone to understand, to feel more at ease, to find their way home, to sit with themselves in silence. And just this beautiful invitation to meditate, to stand there, which is so difficult. Just when we do that, we bring ourselves to love. We come home to one and the same thing, beyond the words. Just in the same space. And that's why I always speak of meditation. Because meditation will bring you out of the fear, out of the mind that will create fears of everything. Because there is always a paradox to everything. Everything in this creation contradicts itself. Even the darkness to the light, everything is its opposite constantly, because that is how you can view one another. That's the only way you can understand if you're doing something good, if it is mirroring that you're seeing someone do something bad. Otherwise, you can't judge what you're doing is good. So it is kind of a mirror play that's happening for us first and foremost to see, to recognize. But the higher you go, the more you understand that everything blends into one another. There is no good, bad. It just is. In every moment, there's a new truth. In every moment, a different situation becomes good and bad. As soon as we go and we judge it from the past, we have chosen to go a stupid path. The moment that we always stand from the now moment, we are standing in wisdom. And it is always your choice. So that's why I've come to find out that meditating not only calms your body, grounds yourself, brings you back out of fear, whatever it is that you're looking at. So the mind doesn't judge and say, this is dark, something is taken out. Because when we're sensitive, when we are in the space of being with energy, because if you're kind, you've probably been connected with others that are not so kind. So of course, when you're in that space and someone tells you this is love, it's hard to believe. I understand that. Because all of this that is being created on this channel is from a place of love and understanding that it is difficult to constantly go back to love when one is getting hurt over and over again. And as human, we do good choices, sometimes bad choices. Sometimes we're bad, sometimes we're good. The most important thing is to love yourself, to do better, to grow, to understand yourself. And from that place, everything that you do is love. So before I sit here, I know that I meditated. I know that I checked with myself, what is the purpose of me even making this video? Before I sit down, what am I connecting with? What is the frequency I'm connecting with? Do I want to help? Do I want to receive? No, it's just a generous giving. Because it feels nice to give. It actually feels more nice to give than to receive. And in a strange way, the more that you give automatically, you're just receiving. Because it's not this loop of, if I give you, you're going to give me, and then we give each other. That's, again, from the mind, in the ego. And it's just me supporting you, you supporting me. No, it needs to be a free giving of love. If it's not free, then it's not real. It is with a condition. Just like when children are little and the parents say, if you go to school and if you do this and if you behave, then you're going to get more love. Your allowance is going to be higher. I'm going to shower you with so much love. If you succeed in your test, if you don't, I'm going to reject you. That is conditioned love. And that is not the frequency I want to bring to you all here. I want you to have one place that you can go to where you know that it is absolutely love, a place where you can rest. Because I feel you all. It is sometimes exhausting. In the journey of healing, of constantly giving your heart out, being good, and just feel like the world is just being bad. It's not. This is just the energy that is connecting and mirroring your opposite. When they see you is everything that they lack. And it infuriates that energy because that energy is in a low vibration. And when you're not happy, you're angry and you're resentful and you're irritated because you're not operating in the true place that you are. So actually those challenging people that are mirroring back to you these difficulties are actually people that has these abilities inside of themselves that they have suppressed so deeply that they're completely in the opposite. They're completely shut off. And when one is struggling in this moment, you might say, but I can barely breathe. I don't even have no space. How am I supposed to consider someone else when I'm just being, they're other beings. Love is taking care of you. It is okay. It is a challenge that's difficult right now. And with time, this will bring you strength. This will bring you to come out of yourself and expand yourself and see it for what it is. The more you can open up to more perspective is the more that you can understand the other, the more that you can understand yourself. Because we all pick each other for a lesson that we need to learn. That's all that this is. There's nothing that you can judge as bad or good. But when you're in it, and if you're in it right now, I'm here with you. I do understand that it's difficult. And you're doing great. Okay? And you need to acknowledge that in yourself, that you're doing great. Sometimes we need soft love, an embrace and a hug. And right now, this is an embrace and a hug. But that doesn't mean that maybe in a different video, I might bring tough love, because whatever is needed will be represented. But that's why I feel that Spirit has brought us to work with the full moons. Because usually when we work with the moon, we work with the new moon. I've never heard of something working with the full moon. But the world seems to want it. The world doesn't want the traditional new moon and we're manifesting. The world needs to let go. The world doesn't have problems of creating and manifesting. We are absolutely exploding of creation inside of us that's been suppressed. We need to let go in order for that creativity to be unleashed from within us, to be completely open and released from all of our ancestors, from all of our society programming, everything that we've created together. We have created everything that we see. And we can only take responsibility when we take responsibility for ourselves. That means showing yourself love, expressing yourself the same way as I'm expressing in this channel, in different layers, in different frequencies. Allow yourself to express that without judging. And the more you release in the full moons, you feel that boiling water, you feel that ocean waves hitting you all over the place, just feeling those emotions, releasing them, and just opening up more. You are going to blossom into something beautiful. You are that beauty that you've never seen, but it is from within you. So wherever you are in life, whatever that you are doing, no matter how crazy or strange or different it might look to others, let this be a reminder to you. You're not crazy. You're just going through it. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with not knowing what to pick. There's nothing wrong with standing in one spot and not knowing how to get out. Everything will eventually move when you stay dedicated to yourself. And the world changes. Everything changes when we take responsibilities for ourselves. This is all that we need to do. It's so simple. It's so simple, but from all programming, from everything that is happening with every being, there's so much stagnation. So with this, I like to end this video by saying, May all beings throughout this universe experience growth and release what is no longer serving them or holding them back from achieving that growth. So thank you for being there, for being open to receive. And as always, have a wonderful day. Send in love your way, everyone.